Hey guys, it's Erin from Lady Poe Designs. Welcome back to my channel. I've got 3 Valentine's Day DIYs for you. They're all kind of shabby chic-ish, very romantic. So let's get in. For project 1, I've got this vase. I've had it for a while. It's very slick surface. We're going to use Dusty Rose Silk Mineral Paint by Dixie, Belle, and Flower Sack by Sweet Pickens. And I've spray painted this vase with just some clear sealer and just to see if the paint would stick, and did 1 coat of the Dusty Rose. I'm going to go in with the milk paint over it and try to get some of that crackling. Y'all, this vase, I had to walk away from it. Ooh, it was an experience, but it's all learning curve. I put 1 coat of the milk paint on, and look, it was immediately flaking off. So I was like, oh, okay, don't rub it anymore. We're going to put another coat on. I dried it, and oh, y'all, it all came off, just wiped off. So I was like, okay, we'll start over. I scrubbed it all off, went in with Dixie Belle's Dusty Rose just with 1 coat and some salt wash in it. So I was like, okay, it's got salt wash in it. Put this on there. Or no, I did 2 coats, I'm sorry. So I put 2 coats, going in with more milk paint and flower sack. Mixed it up, painted that on, and let it dry. I was like, okay, it's looking okay. Maybe this will work. Did the 2nd coat, let that dry. And it came off again. I was trying to rub it so easy, and yeah, look at this. I was mad. I was so mad. So I was like, okay, we're going to go in with DIY's White Salvation Solution. Okay, this is a primer. It blocks out all the tannins and stuff on wood. So I put 1 coat all over this vase. And I don't know what this vase is. It's not glass. It's ceramic, but it's so slick. So I did the White Salvation Solution, and then I put 1 coat of the Dusty Rose over it with no salt wash. And then went back in with the milk. I was determined to use this milk paint, y'all. I wanted to use it. So I let the Dusty Rose dry completely. Went in with the milk paint, painted it, dried it. I was like, okay, it's not flaking. This is good. Did my 2nd coat, and I got some really pretty crackle, but you couldn't really see the Dusty Rose, which is what I wanted. See, look at the crackle. It's beautiful. It really, really turned out great. And y'all, that Salvation Solution is no joke. So I made the mistake of letting it dry overnight. So when I went in to try to wet distress it, I had to rub it and spray it with water, and it took a while. So this is way sped up. But I wet distressed it down, and I am really happy with how this turned out. It was exactly how I wanted it to be. Just a little bit of the Dusty Rose coming through that flower sack white. So I was like, I got it how I wanted it. So I put that liquid patina on there and sealed it. So now we're going to put some flowers in it. I've got one of those little cupcake floral things just from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to put a little cylinder in it. I'm not super gluing any of this into the actual vase. So if anybody wants to change these flowers out, they can take that out, change them. I've had these roses forever. They're the Real Feel roses. They're like really soft and velvety. And just some baby's breath, some boxwood sprigs, some little lilies that I got off of Amazon. But I just put whatever I think would go good with those dusty rose-ish roses. And that's why I wanted that dusty rose paint, because of the color of the roses, right? So I just arranged all the florals how I thought it looked good to my eye, and look how it came out. After turn 3, it turned out really, really pretty. I'm so happy with the vase. I'm so happy with the arrangement. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. Okay, so for the next one, we've got just a plain styrofoam jumbo heart from Hobby Lobby. I got these when they were on sale. We're going in with this Art Basic 3D. It's like glue and like Mod Podge in one, kinda. I usually use this when I'm doing heavier medias. So what I'm doing is, this is just plain. It's not tissue paper. It's literally like a roll. You know that stuff they put on tables at doctor's offices? You know what they spread over the beds? That's what this is. My husband got a big roll of it that they were going to throw away from this medical supply company. So I have a huge roll of it, and it's great for this. I wanted to add texture to this heart without having to use salt wash, or because I didn't want peaks. I wanted the wrinkles, you know, because if you just paint styrofoam, it looks like styrofoam, you know. So I wanted to hide the fact that it was actually styrofoam. So I crumpled up the paper, and with that glue, I put it all over the front of it. Decided it was using way too much of that, so I just reached for my nearest Mod Podge and did the exact same thing. It's a little bit lighter of a coat. It wasn't as thick as I wanted, but I used that side for the back. So I did the same thing. I just crumpled up the paper and Mod Podged it all over this heart to disguise the fact that it was styrofoam. So we're gonna completely cover this and let it dry. Now I'm going in with the Juliette mold. I have not used this mold yet, and I figured this would be perfect. So I'm going to put cornstarch all through it because I'm going to cast the entire mold with the clay, right? So we're going to go in with my favorite, the Creative Paperclay. And I'm going to push it in through this entire mold. So I just take out a big handful, work it in my hands a little bit to get it warm, and I'm just pressing it through the entire mold. Because we're going to put this on one side of the heart and kind of make it sideways. I don't know how to explain it, but I get out my little transfer tool and scrape out all the excess. The IOD molds have that micro rim, so it's really easy to get off that excess clay. And since this particular mold is all one piece, it's just easier to do the entire mold all at once, if that makes sense, and not do it in pieces, because it is all connected, right? So I just pressed it in the entire mold and just cleaned it out all at the same time. So you get all that excess clay out, turn it over, and I just roll it. And it all pops out. I had some little pieces that stuck, but it was fine. I'm going to dissect it anyway to put it on the side of this heart. So I almost said rose. Put it on the side of this rose. So yeah, I'm going to kind of dissect it because some of this mold has like thorns and stuff through it. So I wanted to take some of those out because I wanted this to be really soft, shabby chic, romantic. So I really didn't want like, all the thorns in it. So we're going to take our Titebond wood glue and glue these onto the styrofoam. This is after it's completely dried, right? So we're going to slap this on there. And I want to cover like basically the whole left side of the heart, like halfway up the right and then almost going over the top of the left. So we're going to kind of cut this apart and try to piece it together kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. Some of them will overlap, like see that leaf overlapped one of the roses. I'm going to put another rose on top of all of them. So I just literally pieced it to where I thought it looked good. So, you know, that part right there, didn't like it. So I took it off and replaced it and let that leaf overlap. So that's what's so cool about molds is you can literally do whatever you want because they are so versatile. So we're going to continue to piece these on there and see I just laid that over the empty spot and just kind of pressed it down into the molds themselves. But I'm going to put on the little rosebuds, kind of wrap it around the top. I really love this mold. I think it's so pretty. And I needed one more little bitty leaf, so I took some of the scraps that I didn't use from the little thorn vines and made like one more little leaf. So then we're going to take vintage linen from DIY and we're going to do a coat over this entire heart. This will cover the clay. This will give us our base coat from where we Mod Podged all that paper on there and just give us a base coat to start with. So this is going to cover up all the cracks and everything. And then I'm going to let it completely dry before I go in with the next steps, because you got to remember with clay and any kind of clay, really, you're going to have some cracking. And yes, I wanted this to be somewhat, you know, antique-ish, but I still wanted it to be clean. So I let it completely dry. And this is just some paper that I got off of Amazon. It was just a little pack of scrapbook / decoupage paper. I honestly don't even know what it was called. I got it forever ago. But I just used some liquid patina and fit this to the back of the heart. And I'm just going to lay this down wherever the molds aren't. Okay, so wherever it's kind of flat. And I'm not worried about, you know, not getting wrinkles. You know, I purposely put wrinkles in this finish. So I'm just going to make sure that it's stuck down, basically. So I'm just going through, and you have to put a healthy coat of liquid patina for this paper because it is a little bit more thick than what we're used to, you know, in Roycycled papers and stuff like that. So, you know, this is a little bit thinner than printer paper, but not as thick. So, you know, it still had some substance to it. So I did have to work to get it down a little bit. But I'm just going to go through, and wherever I see white, I'm just going to piece it together. And I kind of gave up on trying to keep the design. I could not think of the word. Oh my gosh. What do they call that? Damask? Is that what it's called? Is that how you pronounce that? Damask? It's where, it, you know, that real vintage kind of, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, anywhere where I see white, I'm just putting little scraps of it. So I'm going to take the second page and cut out this little emblem in the middle because I just thought it was pretty. And we're going to put that on the back of the heart. So it's basically going to look like almost kind of scrapbookish, if that makes sense. because we're just kind of piecing all of these elements together, and they still go because it's from the same pack, so they're all cohesive. They all have the same designs on the back, so you're just layering. So I put that little sign on the back and then sealed it in. And then on the front, I cut out this little one. So we're going to put that on the top right there. And work that down and seal it in. So then we're going to go in with the vintage linen and some salt wash. And I'm going to make this really thick and pasty because you see how it's cracked because it's dried? I'm going to fill in all of those cracks, all of those holes, because I don't want you to be able to see any of that styrofoam heart underneath it. Even though we've painted it, I still wanted it to be, or look rather, like one piece. So we're going to go in with aviary and paint all of the leaves and the stems that I left in and give those a coat. And then to stick to our theme, we're going to go in with that Dusty Rose from Dixie Belle and paint all of our roses. And this took quite a while, so I sped it up. I wasn't going to make y'all sit through that. But basically, any empty spots, I just went back in with the aviary and just covered all that up. So when that dries, we're going to go in with DIY's white wax. And I'm going to put a healthy coat. I'm talking healthy. I got a lot to seal on here. I've got all that salt wash that I put in those crevices. But also, I want to really, really smoke this out. I don't want it to stay those bold colors. That's what Shabby Chic is. It's soft, right? So I put a very healthy coat of that white on there and worked it all down in the crevices. So now we've got some old lace that I had, just scraps, and I'm going to make a little bow. I was gonna use this white lace, and after I made the bow and put it under the other one, I was kind of like, it's too much white. I really wanted to play more into, the duller colors. So I got some tulle out that was kind of a cream and made a bow with that and stacked my lace bow on top of that. I thought it looked better. So I'm gonna hot glue down my little tulle bow and then hot glue my lace bow down. I'm gonna get out my pearls and my Starbond Quick and Thick. And we're gonna put 3 pearls going down the front of this bow. I like doing things in odd numbers. Odd numbers looks better, more pleasing to the eye. They teach you that in art. And then I'm going to put little bitty pearls in the middle of every little rosette that's down on the body of the heart. So in a couple of the bigger roses, I put a little bit bigger of a pearl. But this is how it turned out. It is so crazy to me that this started out as a styrofoam heart and with some molds and beautiful paper and some lace. Look what you can do. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. Okay, so for the last one, we've just got some wooden hearts from Hobby Lobby. I got them last year when they were on sale, so they were like 25 cents. And some tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree. We're going to take the Dollar Tree super glue, wood glue, And we're going to make kind of like a makeshift crate. If y'all watched my other videos, y'all know how much I like crates. So we're going to make these hearts into a little crate and put some flowers in it. This would be great for, you know, somebody, if you want to give somebody a Valentine's gift at work, or a boss, or even if you want this to sit in like a 3-tiered tray. It's small enough. It's very dainty. I thought it turned out really pretty. So I'm just going to line half of this heart with the tumbling tower blocks. We're going to come in with the vintage linen from DIY, and we're going to paint the front of the other one because we're going to use that same paper that I was using on the styrofoam heart. We're going to bring that back in on this one. I'm going to paint the rest of the other half with the same dusty rose. So these are all going to go together. So if you want to display them all together, they're all going to match. So this was the remnants of that other paper. I'm trying to figure out which way it'll look best. And I'm going to use some liquid patina and decoupage this on the front of the heart. I thought this paper was really pretty. If I can find it again, I'll leave it in the description box for y'all. For everything else, DIYs and IOD, DIY and IOD related, I get from Sammie at Unicorn Dust Designs. And of course, her information will be in the description box. So I'm going to cut off the excess paper and paint the back of it that dusty rose. And what's good about this is, since I left the paper on there before, you know, zip sanding it off, I didn't have to be really careful about the lines. I could just paint it in. So it made like a painter's tape in a way. So I'm going to sand off the excess paper with my zip sander in a downward motion. And this is when it's already dried, right? So now I'm going to make some fabric rosettes on here. So you'll see I've got a glove on my hand. This fabric, y'all, I don't know why, but it felt like microfiber on my skin. And I don't know if y'all can relate, but that feeling to me is like nails on a chalkboard. I can't stand it. So I had to put a glove on. Anyway, you can tell that I tied a knot and I sped this way up. So if y'all want to pay really good attention on how I did this and slow it down, you can do that on in the tool, you know, like the little toolbar below. But I tie a knot at the end of the fabric, glue that down, and then I twist it one way, glue it halfway, put a strip of glue, twist it the other way, and then lay it down. And what it does is it, while you're twisting it, you know, the opposite way every time you glue it, it makes it look like it almost has rose petals on it. So you'll see when I cut this off and just kind of press it down with my glue gun, see how it looks like it actually has like petals? So I'm going to keep going. See, I'm going to tie a knot, cut off the excess. And if you're putting them side by side like this, you want to leave enough room to the side because you know you're going to be filling that up. So leave yourself some room, lay down some glue, twist it, lay down some more glue, twist it, do it again, and then twist it the other way. And that makes a little petal. And if you want your petals to be real prominent, don't twist it as tight. If you want it to be a real tight rosette, twist the fabric really, really tight. And you can do this with any kind of fabric. It looks beautiful with lace. It looks beautiful with this fabric. I've done it with muslin before and made really, really, really small rosettes. And it's gorgeous. You can put a whole bunch of fabric together, like maybe 2 different colors, and twist it together and make a multicolor rose. And they're so pretty, y'all. So if you've never tried this technique, I really urge you to try it because it makes some really, really cool roses, and they're never the same. You will never get one that looks like the other. They're so unique. I love them. So we're going to snip that off and glue down the end. See, now I'm going to come in with this pink lace and tie a knot. And when I did this, I was like, oh, I kind of like the little things sticking up from the top. So I left those on. So I'm going to go around, twist it, lay it down, lay down some more glue, twist it the other way. And with lace, it's a little bit harder to see, so you don't twist it as hard because, you know, lace is, you know, it compresses really easy on itself. So you're not going to get as much girth from the fabric. So just don't twist it as hard and you'll get more of that petal shape. So I just continue to twist it to the right, then twist it to the left. I'm saying twist a lot in this video, y'all. Cut off the excess, and you can make these as big or as small as you want. You don't have to go to the end of the fabric or anything. So now I've cut that the cream fabric in half. So now see, I've made like a little smaller one, and I'm going to do the same thing to the pink one. Down here on the side, excuse me, I'm going to do a little bitty one because I didn't need much there, but I needed something. So I just made a little bitty rosette there. But aren't those cute? And then I came in with the same pearls that we used on the styrofoam heart, and I'm going to put those in the middle of each rosette, and I used different sizes for different roses, whichever one I wanted. Excuse me, sorry guys, my throat is just killing me. But we're going to put the little bitty ones just kind of on the outside wherever I felt like they needed a pearl. And then I got some chunky ones, put them on the bottom. And then I'm going to use the liquid patina and seal the top of that paper because I remembered I never did. So just to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. I didn't want to put it on before I did the rosettes because I didn't want the hot glue to come off. So I wanted it to stick to paper and not, you know, the top coat. So we're going to glue this on to the front. And y'all, this is the first time I've used this super glue wood glue, and it's really good. It's set up so quick. I was very surprised. So we're going to go in with some Spanish moss, put some in the bottom. Just like if somebody picks it up and looks in the bottom, they're not going to see, you know, the green floral foam. So I'm just going to put a little bitty block in there and then cover it up. I don't glue any of this in. It's all just stuffed down in there. So if anybody wants to change it, you know, they can take this stuff out and put pencils in it on their desk. If they want to keep it, you know, anything. You can put anything in these. These are some Sola wood flowers that I had left over from my wedding. Actually, I think this came out of one of the centerpieces. Some leftover greenery also from Sola. I love them. You'll probably see a lot of them in my videos because I have a ton left. So, hey, I'm not going to buy more if I already have it. So I'm going to cut these down and stick these in there. I love their roses. And I actually dyed these myself. This is, I forgot what color they called this, but this was one of the colors in my wedding. But I'm going to stick these 3 roses down in there. And this is kind of like, it's like baby's breath. It's dry, they're dried flowers, but they're green. I don't know what is that still baby's breath? Do they make baby's breath in different colors? I don't know. All I know is it was beautiful with these roses and it made great filler. These little sprigs to the left there, these are also dried flowers. I do not know what they are called, but they have little yellow tips. And to me, I just thought it looked very antique, very vintage with all the pink and the green. So I stuck those in there, and look, I'm so happy about this one. As you can look on my thumbnail, this was my favorite. I love how this heart turned out. And this is 2 Hobby Lobby hearts and some tumbling tower blocks. And look what you can make, guys. So y'all gotta let me know which one was your favorite, of course. Comment down below. Remember to like and subscribe. We are 101 away from 1,000 subs on this channel, and I cannot believe it. I'm blown away, and I cannot be more thankful. I'm stoked. So until next time, just remember y'all are beautiful and you can do hard things. Thank you so much, guys.